With Coach Grossner and a couple other members of the Baker Wildcat football team.
Coach Grossner acknowledged that the Lindenwood loss was a tough one for the Baker Wildcats, but they bounced back against Benedictine.
We learned a lot of things about ourselves, and I think this week leading up to Benedictine was very difficult for the coaches and the players. You know, it's one of those life lessons. It's a big setback. You have all these dreams and goals, and you know you had them right there and you lost. And then how are you going to come back from?
The Wildcats were losing to the Ravens at half, but showed their mental toughness in the second half.
We got down by 10 points in the third quarter with about 8 minutes left, and there was no panic on our sideline. In the past, you know, you could kind of feel maybe a group of guys go, oh, you know, what are we going to do? I felt like, hey, they were charged up and said, hey, we just made a mistake, allowed them to score. Boom, here we go. Let's make some plays and get control of this thing.
The Wildcat players felt like the win against Benedictine was an important one for them. Safety Herb Askew explains.
I think right about halftime of the Benedictine game is when we figured it out that, you know, look, this is our year. We're taking it. And I think like really after the second half of that game, you just saw a complete change in our morale, how we were attacking, how aggressive we were being, and overall confidence. So.
The Wildcats did a nice job not turning the ball over against the Ravens.
But right now we're protecting the football. Coach Mason with the running backs has done a great job of ball security and really putting an emphasis on it. I hear Coach Regalado say ball security, he's got a line I can't remember, is job security. You know, that's a great line, but it goes job security for coaches and it's job security for the players.
Quarterback Mac Brown has done a nice job of protecting the football, throwing only 2 interceptions through 4 games.
And then Mac Brown has been very, very efficient with the football. His throws have been accurate. I think in the Benedictine game he hit 11 in a row. That's for any level. That's an accomplishment.
Brown received Hack Player of the Week honors after completing 28 of 39 passes for 365 yards and 3 touchdowns. He hooked up with wide receiver Brad Fawcett for a couple touchdowns, the long of 65.
Yeah, it was definitely one of my best games here at Baker, and as a whole, the offense's best game. You know, our line, you know, had great pass protection and run holes. Richie ran well, and our receivers ran great routes.
Brown has many weapons to choose from on offense, especially wide receivers Tyrell Spain, Brett Woods, Cody Conover, James Hensley, and Brad Fawcett.
Yeah, I think our wide receiver group is one of the best in the conference, if not the best. We have guys who know their roles, know what they're supposed to do in the offense, whether it's speed or, you know, turn the hitch into 5, 10 yards, get tough yards. But our receiver group is one of the best in the conference.
Richie Bryant has got off to a nice start, rushing for over 100 yards in each of the first 3 conference games.
He's done a nice job of preparing himself for his senior season. He's been a workhorse. You know, Blaine Crow got hurt for us. We've got a bunch of young backs behind him, so we've kind of put the load on Richie, and he's done a nice job.
The offensive line has really improved from last year, and it's a big reason why the offense is having so much success.
Up front, from a pass protection standpoint, and many times we're putting the ball in the air, they're doing a great job. Run game, our zone blocking scheme's coming. We haven't perfected it yet, but we feel pretty good at any time that we can run for 3 or 4 yards and feel good about it.
Mac Brown realizes the impact of having a strong front 5.
They don't get the stats that we do and the recognition, but you know, without them, there is no run holes, there is no pass protection, nothing goes without the O-line.
The Wildcats D has given up some yards this season, but has done a nice job keeping the other team out of the end zone.
The thing I like about our defense is when their backs are against the wall and the end zone's behind them, they're not letting them in, you know, for the most part. We've given up a couple big plays which are kind of out of character for our guys, but for the most part, when they get near that red zone, they aren't letting them in there.
Safety Herb Askew explains how the defense is filled with ball hawks.
Yeah, as a secondary, we've definitely come a long way. I mean, we've got playmakers everywhere. I mean, from all conference guys just make plays. You know, already we have 7 interceptions and 3 just as a secondary.
There is one area on this Wildcats team where Coach Grossner feels like there is room for improvement.
The one thing that we're not doing as well as I would like is special teams. You know, we've put an emphasis on it last week more than ever. We've got the greatest kicker in the country. We've got a new snapper, a new holder. We've changed snappers 2 or 3 times trying to get a good chemistry going. We've tried out 3 holders. I think we have found our answer in Edwin Mercedes as our short snapper and Caleb Johnson as our punt snapper.
Graceland has not won a game, but Grossner does not want the team to take them lightly.
We try to preach one game at a time, one half at a time, and this is a perfect case. Let's go take care of business. They're going to come in here chomping at the bit to get their first victory. They know they can beat us. They've done it 4 years in a row, and so they're going to have some confidence coming in here.
Askew wants his team to play a full 60 minutes against the Yellow Jackets.
We got to come out focused. We got to pound them from the get-go instead of waiting until the second half or just playing one half of football. We're going to have to just keep continually pounding them and send a message out to the rest of the hack that we're for real.
Grossner is in his 5th year at Baker and has high expectations for this season.
But we kind of geared everything towards this year knowing, hey, we've got a chance to put a good football team on the field that can compete for a hack championship, and we feel that way.
Askew feels like this team has the parts to win a championship.
Yeah, I truly do feel that, judging by the teams how we played last year, the improvement that we had, the practice that we've actually been having, I truly think that we are definitely one of the best teams in the hack this year, if not overall #1.